There's a phrase ultrarunners use: the work, not the race. Anyone can show up to a start line. The work is what happens in the weeks before, the early mornings, the fatigued legs, the deliberate, unglamorous accumulation of miles. I'm Paul Johnson. In 10 weeks, I'll be standing at the start line of the Cocodona 250, a 250-mile foot race through the Arizona wilderness. And this is a show about what it actually takes to get there. I just completed week 5 of training for the Cocodona 250. We are 10 weeks out from race day. This was my final week of what the plan calls base rebuilding. That might sound surprising because for most of my running life, I've never followed a formal training plan. Not for road marathons, not for ultra marathons. My training was structured but informal, routine but self-directed. Typically, I ran 16 kilometers on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 kilometers on Tuesday and Thursday. And on the weekend, one long run, longer than 16 kilometers. I don't know why that rhythm worked. It just did. But for Cocodona 2026, I'm doing something different. I'm following a plan. It tells me what to do. It has intent behind it. And next week, it moves me from rebuilding to building. I didn't expect to like that. Turns out, I do. I ran 6 days this week. Sunday, I rested. I completed back-to-back long runs on Friday and Saturday. Total distance, 104.52 kilometers. The target was 105. Total vertical gain, 1,678 meters. The target was 1,500. Some people argue that ultramarathon training should emphasize time on feet more than mileage. This week, my total time on feet was 15 hours and 21 minutes. The back-to-back long runs were intentional, building durability and practicing movement on fatigued legs. Terrain varied. Several runs were relatively flat. 3 included mountainous technical trails, most notably Friday's climb in the White Tank Mountains to Goldwater Peak. I also played 10 hours of pickleball. That's cross-training. Physically, this was a strong week. No warning signs, no lingering fatigue. I slept 8 to 9 hours each night with a short afternoon nap most days. Weeks like this matter. They don't guarantee anything, but they suggest that the process is working. Monday, I played pickleball with Steve Huagan, founder of the Century Club out of Detroit. Steve had just run the Black Canyon 100K in just over 16 hours, which qualifies him for the Western States 100 lottery, one of the most coveted spots in ultra running. It was Steve's first time playing pickleball. He held his own. After pickleball, I ran the trails at Paloma Community Park. Short, technical climbs that keep you honest. Tuesday was flatter, pickleball in the morning, then the Maricopa Trail near my house. Fast, predictable. Wednesday brought more climbing at Paloma, followed by 2 more hours of pickleball. Thursday was back to the Maricopa Trail. Friday was the big day. I headed to the White Tank Mountains, started at the base, and climbing Goat Camp Trail all the way to Goldwater Peak. Sunny, dry, cool. The kind of day you don't want to waste. Later that afternoon, I was back on the pickleball court. 2 hours, competitive. Saturday morning, I ran to the ISI men's ministry meeting. ISI is built around a simple idea from Proverbs. As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. That theme, showing up, sharpening each other, fits this season well. On the flat sections the Maricopa Trail runs, I wore the Hoka Mach 6. Fast, efficient, forgiving. For the technical climbs, I alternated between two Norda shoes. The Norda 001 is a workhorse, Dyneema upper, Vibram Mega Grip outsole, balanced cushioning. It handles everything.
Subscribe.
The Norda 005 is something else, one of the lightest trail shoes available, built for race day, with a midsole designed for responsive energy return. I'm starting to understand when to use which one. For recovery, I follow RICE, R-I-C-E, rest, ice, compression, elevation. I don't cold plunge. Instead, I use cold therapy wraps from SMI Cold Therapy. They live in my freezer. When I need them, I pull them out, wrap the targeted area with the built-in Velcro, and get both cold and compression in one step. Simple, effective. My friend Nicholas Steinbrunner, Nico, is running Cocodona again this year. We've stood at that start line together the last 2 years. He tracks his training meticulously and counts down the days publicly. If you don't follow him on Instagram or Facebook, you should. He makes the process visible in the best possible way. There are course changes this year at Cocodona that are worth knowing about. In the final stretch, the last 15 miles of the race from Wildcat Hill up and over Mount Eldon, runners will not be permitted a pacer. This is due to the presence of Mexican spotted owls on Mount Eldon. That section involves a 3,131-foot climb after 235 miles of running alone. Last year, the pacer restriction applied to an earlier section from Fort Tuthill to Walnut Canyon. This year, that restriction has been lifted. Pacers are now allowed there, but Mount Eldon is the new boundary. Those last 15 miles at that point in the race, without a pacer, that will test everyone. I'm thinking about it. I'm training for it. Next week, the plan shifts. Phase 2, base building begins. The target is 116 kilometers with 1,800 meters of vertical gain. Monday opens with 16 kilometers that include climbing. Tuesday is a tempo run, 16 kilometers at sustained effort. Wednesday, 10 easy. Thursday, 19 kilometers at moderate effort. Then the back-to-back long runs, 32 kilometers on Friday with 1,050 meters of vertical gain, followed by 23 kilometers on Saturday with 750 meters of vert. Sunday, I rest. The theme for the week is sustained effort practice. That means learning to hold a controlled, uncomfortable pace, not racing, not jogging. That middle zone that builds the aerobic engine ultra runners rely on when mile 200 feels like it might break you. The mileage goes up, the vertical goes up, the work gets harder. That's the point. Here's what I know after many marathons and ultramarathons, after 4 Cocodona finishes, after starting this sport at 40 years old. The race doesn't happen on race day. The race happens in weeks like this one, in the runs nobody sees, in the recovery that makes the next run possible. in the discipline of following a plan, even when you've never followed one before. Week 5 is done. The body is strong. The work continues. I'm Paul Johnson. See you next week.